Well, you would remember the entire fight at the Ramjas College in Delhi University started over an invitation that had been extended to Umar Khalid, among others, to address a seminar there. And now Umar Khalid has spoken to India Today, and he in fact has accused the government of misinterpreting what Azadi means and what those Azadi slogans that were heard again in Ramjas really meant. Listen in.
This time, like the last year, the epicenter has come after that. In fact, the national capital has become epicenter after the Azadi slogans yet again. Last year in JNU and this time in Delhi University.
See, जिनका इतिहास गुलामी का है, the ones who never fought the British, who never participated in the freedom struggle, it's amply clear that they have a problem with the question of Azadi. Right now, the demand for Azadi, the slogan for Azadi, reflects the democratic aspirations that are there within the university campuses, and it reflects the fact that the students of this campus, of this country, do not share the values that the government wants to propagate. They want Azadi from all the ideologies and the policies that are being imposed upon us in higher education and outside.
But 130 crore people would ask that why you need Azadi, Kashmir's Azadi from India, why you need Bastar's Azadi from India?
See, this is not about from India or in India. This is about the fact that we should have an Azadi to think. Concept of a university autonomy is also there. Without a free mind, without the freedom to think, new knowledge cannot produce. And that is what universities have historically done. But this government has waged a consistent war against higher education. They want to finish off higher education in this country.
Do you rule out that whatever happened at Ramjas College and whatever happening at present, it's all because of you?
See, it's not because of me. It's because of the fact that because ABVP has done this in the past as well. This was not the first time they did that. And I did not even reach Ramjas College, and they did that despite that. They did that on day 1, they did that on day 2. Both the days I was not present there.
You realize that you being a controversial face, there are charges against you, that you should avoid going to in such seminars, such debates?
No, I don't think so, because I think that would be a violation of my fundamental rights. And it's not about me, but it's about the fact that why should anyone's rights be taken away? I'm an innocent person.
All right, so Umar Khalid says that the Azadi slogans which were heard earlier in Jawaharlal Nehru University and now at the Ramjas College in Delhi University is the aspiration of the youth of this country, their aspiration to be able to have the freedom to think freely. So what really are the limits of this freedom? Is it also equal to or extends to asking for the dismemberment of the Indian state? A lot has happened since in the last few days. Joining us now on the debate, and the 5 questions that we asked right at the beginning, we're going to pull them up again and ask them one by one. Joining us on 8 p.m. today is Sanjay Hegde. He's a senior advocate at the Supreme Court. And we have Prerna Bharadwaj, who is a leader of the Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad, and someone who says that she too has been assaulted by the left-wing students during that confrontation that the ABVP and SFI and ISA were engaged in. Let me start by asking you, Prerna. Today, when Gurmeher is being attacked for what she says is only an opposition to hooliganism, gundagardi on campus, don't you also stand in solidarity with her? Because surely no one can condone that, Prerna, as someone who herself has been assaulted.
I do have my solidarity with her because what I believe is she is standing against violence. But you cannot just blame and label one party that I am not afraid of ABVP. Gurmeher, you should not be afraid of ABVP. No one should be afraid of ABVP. ABVP has always stood up for the nation. They are fighting against the anti-national elements your father died for. They have been standing up against all those anti-national elements which are there to tear the country apart. I want to remind you that the people you're advocating, the ideology you're advocating, they are the same people who ask Kashmir mange Azadi, Bastar mange Azadi. I guess your father have been, is called a Shaheed because he fought for the integrity, the unity of the country. That's why he's called a Shaheed. And when people are trying to protect that integrity of the country, so I do not call them an anti-national, or I do not really think that ABVP is a goon if they stand up for something they believe in, if they stand up for nationalism.
Okay, Sanjay Hegde, would you like to start out by answering Prerna or responding to what Prerna has said?
Well, I don't think I'd like to respond to what Prerna said, but basically the concept of Azadi can mean so many things to so many people. And the most important thing is Azadi of the mind. Long ago, Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore told us that where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, into that heaven of freedom let my country awake. Now the question is, today if I hold my head up high and I say, I think this is wrong, I think that the ABVP is scaring people, I think that the ABVP has a bad record from Madhya Pradesh where Professor Sabharwal died. I think that the professor in DU who was assaulted in this fracas and who was in a Noida hospital,
we are talking about just what happened in the Ramjas.
the ABVP
Sir, please
did
come
wrong
to
by
the
them.
point, come to the point,
No,
talk about the
please,
Ramjas incident only.
please.
You are not there.
No,
We are here for the debate what happened in the Ramjas
Madam,
college. We are
madam,
not here for
this
the
is-
debate
this is
on
not-
what happened in the past few
This
years.
is not your ABVP Shaka. I am not subject. I am not subject to your shouting, or you can't bully me.
The state,
You
ISA
can't
state
bully
president
me.
did, he was a rapist,
Madam,
he
you cannot
raped.
bully me. Madam, you cannot bully me.
Sir, I am not
Madam,
bullying
you
you,
cannot
sir,
bully
I am
me.
not bullying
So
you, I am
first and
just telling
foremost,
you to come
please,
on point.
your
Let's
Azadi,
let's
your
talk about what
Azadi-
happened in
your
Ramjas. Let's
Azadi
talk
to
about what
speak,
happened in Ramjas.
You have exercised. Please allow somebody else to exercise his Azadi.
Okay, Sanjay Hegde, let
You
me
have
ask you
exercised your
another
Azadi. Please
question.
allow somebody else to
All
exercise.
right, so you
that is exactly what
Okay,
Azadi
so
is
you
about.
made your opening comments responding to what Prerna had to say. Let me ask you the second question. Here is one girl, just because she belongs to the ABVP, she says she was also assaulted by students who belong to the left wing. And today she is scared because her family is upset with, whether she will be subjected to future attacks. Even though Gurmeher does have the freedom to openly say what she does, and she should have that freedom, isn't it also a cause for concern that people who believe in a certain ideology, in this case the ABVP, should be running scared? Why aren't they getting the kind of support which anyone should in free society?
I don't see why the. I'm sorry. I don't see why any citizen of India should be scared. If you are threatened, please go to the police.
I would like to give you an example.
And as
I am
all of us
scared
have
of the
seen,
people
the
who
police
have been molesting me. I am
please,
scared
madam,
because
do not interrupt me.
Sir,
you do not
you're
have
making a
Azadi
point
to
that
interrupt
nobody should
me.
be scared.
Please let me
I
complete.
am answering you on
You
that,
do not
sir.
have Azadi to interrupt me. Please don't shout over me.
Sir,
Please
I am
do
very
not shout
politely
over
telling
me.
you, I am
Let me
very
complete my
politely
point, then
making
you
a
have your
point
time.
that I am not
No, I am asking you to.
afraid
I
of
am
fighting
asking you
to
to
these
kindly allow
anti-national
me to
elements,
have my
but yes,
say.
I am afraid to show
I
my
am-
face
you please-
because I fear you
Please,
people
I
that
am
if they
asking
can
you to
rape
let
their
me have
own
my say.
activists, they can
Padmaja, if you
obviously
do not
rape or
if
they
you
can
do not
molest
regulate
anybody from the opposition
thing,
party. Sir,
this
that's
is
what I
exactly
believe.
what the ABVP is about.
Sir, I
The
give you an
ABVP
example.
is about shouting
Sir,
over
do
other
you
people.
remember
The
Anmol Ratan,
ABVP
sir? Do
seems
you
to be
remember
shouting
Anmol
over
Ratan?
other
He was
people,
the ISA state
not
president.
letting
No,
anybody
just a
else
second.
speak.
Prerna, let's not
Madam, please
let's not
do
go
not
back into
speak
the
over
past.
me.
Prerna, what
Please
are you
do not
scared of?
speak over me.
If
If that is
Gurmeher
the
can speak
ABVP
openly
ideology,
and without
if that
fear,
is the
why are
ABVP
you scared?
ideology,
I am scared because Gurmeher is,
who is the
she's not a
question to?
controversial
Padmaja,
figure. I am getting, if I was there when this incident took place. Never had it been happen with me that somebody tries to molest me or tear my clothes apart. But when it did happen with me by the left people, obviously if it can happen within so many people, there were police, there were people from my ideology as well. If it can happen with me there, so I do fear that there are people in left wing like Anmol Ratan who do rape their own activists. So why won't they attack me?
All right, Sanjay Hegde.
I can't help somebody who is fearful. There is a law in this country. Your party, the party to which the ABVP is affiliated, is in power. Are you telling me that a majority party is so powerless that it cannot protect the women in Delhi?
Sir, it have
Are
always
you telling me
protected the
that
women.
the policemen in Delhi are sitting with their hand? Please do not interrupt me.
Sir, if you are questioning my party or they play a women they oppose women empowerment. I'm just answering you on
Please
that.
do not interrupt
sir, we have been
me.
holding women empowerment
Please.
seminars. We have been fighting
Listen,
for women.
Padmaja, if-
Sir, where was your party
if you
when the
cannot
Nirbhaya
moderate
incident
the
took
debate,
place?
if you
I
cannot
cannot see
moderate
any.
the
No,
debate,
please, we will not again go down
Please,
Nirbhaya and unmold us, and let's
He
leave
is
that out.
talking about women empowerment, so I'm just
Prerna,
giving
you
him
want to
an example.
fight a political, ideological fight, go out there. If someone has assaulted you, you lodge an FIR against them.
We
Why
have
should you
lodged-
run scared?
We have lodged an FIR against it.
Absolutely.
Our DUSU bearers have lodged an FIR against it, but the crowd doesn't have a face, right? If I do not know anybody from the ISA who attacked me, I do recognize their faces,
Okay.
but I do not know their names because they do not belong to my party that I'll be familiar with them, right? So if I have filed an FIR against them, right? But if I do not know somebody by name, I cannot fake a profile that like they claim that Satyendra Ravana did that, even he was not, he did not.
Okay, so you say you filed an FIR, but you're yet to identify those people.
Yes,
Let's
yes.
come to question number 2 now. Sanjay Hegde, if the colleges are supposed to be the last bastion, and that's what a number of people have said since last year, that the colleges are the bastion of free speech. Why doesn't this argument of free speech then extend to both sides? For people who say disagree with, for example, what Gurmeher has to say, what about their right to free speech? For example, a Randeep Hooda or a Virender Sehwag.
Will my free speech be interrupted by the other panelist?
No, it
Otherwise,
won't.
I don't want to speak.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Straightforward, the answer to a speech is a speech. Gurmeher may have her right to say whatever she wants. Mr. Sehwag has the right to say whatever she wants. If anybody's speech then falls afoul of the law, if it is, for instance, contempt of court, or if it is defamatory, then you go to the legal process. But what is not allowed is shutting down free speech by threats of violence. And that is certainly where free speech needs to be defended. No, please. That is where free speech needs to be defended. When there is violence, the answer is that the state has to protect whoever is the speaker.
Sir, I would like to interrupt you now. Do you really think it is freedom of speech to shout anti-India slogans? Do you really think it is freedom of speech to say India go back when you are studying in an Indian campus? Do you think it is freedom of speech to call a main conspirator on the Indian parliament, who was a main conspirator, Afzal Guru, a Shaheed? I want to ask Gurmeher that she has been supporting this movement a lot, that ABVP is a violent party. She is advocating the same party who call a terrorist a Shaheed. His father is also a matriarch, I guess, right? So why did not she oppose them? If saying somebody who is a main conspirator a Shaheed, then I do not know what kind of intellectualism it is. I do not know what kind of freedom of speech you are advocating. If all you talk about is tearing your country apart, all you talk about is saying India go back, India go back. If India goes back, I want to remind Umar Khalid and all those people who are raising this anti-India slogans that you are the beneficiaries of a highly subsidized Indian institution, right?
Okay, on that point I want to ask you, Sanjay Hegde, do you sense a bit of hypocrisy here that the very people who have derided the army over the last 1 year, at least since the entire JNU episode happened, are now making a martyr's daughter as a front for their own cause or their own agenda or their own point of view, call it what you will?
Will I get an uninterrupted speech now? I did not interrupt the previous speaker, so now hear this. Nobody made anybody a front. The girl herself came out. She said, I'm a student from DU. I am not afraid of ABVP. I am not alone. Every student of India is with me. Students against ABVP. Now, the last I heard, ABVP is not the country. You may have a particular conception of nationalism. Others may have a different conception of nationalism. Now, the ABVP has no business shutting down people whom it disagrees with.
No, but did ABVP
Long
shut her down?
ago, somebody called
Sir,
Voltaire.
we did not.
Please
Sir,
look him up.
sir. No, you're continuously blaming ABVP. Firstly, we advocate, we
please
do
do not
advocate that
interrupt me.
everybody
Please
should
do not
get a right to
interrupt me.
speak. But the moment
Please do not
somebody starts
interrupt
speaking
me.
against the country,
Please do not
the moment
interrupt me.
somebody
If you-
starts speaking about
if
tearing the country apart,
if
yes, we
this
will
is your
oppose.
idea of freedom
And
of
I
speech,
was there. No,
listen, I
Hegde,
can
again, because I wanted
freedom
to
of
just get
shouting is
clarity
not
on
freedom
that.
of speech.
Sir,
Nobody
do
in
not
the
show me
ABVP
such new standards. Sir, don't use standards,
moderate
sir,
the
please.
debate.
No, I just wanted
Padmaja,
to
you
ask
either
you.
moderate the
No,
debate.
Sanjay Hegde. So I wanted to ask you a cross question.
Please.
Where are you getting
Please
this
do
from?
not
Who
interrupt
in
me.
the ABVP has told Gurmeher to stop talking?
Yes.
Sir, answer.
I'm sorry.
Who in the ABVP has stopped Gurmeher from speaking?
Have you not? Please look at at her entire Twitter timeline. Please look at what Virendra Sehwag, Randeep Hooda,
They are not from the
Kiran
ABVP,
Rijiju
and they have
the
told her
whole
to keep
BJP
quiet.
gang
They have
been
differed
named
with her.
after her.
In all fairness, they have
They-
differed
they-
with
You
her.
talk
Miss
But
about
they
Joshi.
haven't said that she
speech
can't
and
speak.
expression,
Miss
and then you say that Virendra
Ms.
Sehwag or
Joshi,
Randeep Hooda are
the
criticizing
ABVP
it.
is
Do
part
not-
of the BJP.
Do not
It
they
is
belong to
affiliated
the
to the
same
BJP.
country where
Please-
freedom of
please-
speech is a
please do-
fundamental
please do
right,
not.
sir. Please answer this question. Do not get
please do
derivated
not
from this.
confuse the ABVP, the BJP with the
such
nation.
hypocrisy
The
of-
nation is much
No,
bigger.
no, just a
than
second,
party
Prerna,
in
just a
power.
second. Just the final question. So you spoke about Virendra Sehwag and Randeep Hooda. Again, my simple question was, anyone in the government or this particular organization, have they stopped her from speaking? If anything, she's now being given 24/7 security.
Sir, if you provide me 24/7
After
security, I'm
she
ready
has-
to unreveal
see,
my
listen,
face.
there's a very
Sir,
nice...
if you promise me that I'll be given 24/7 security, I'm ready to, throw this mask off. Tell me, do you guarantee me that there won't be any
It's your
further
government, I'm not in
molestation with me?
government.
Sir, do you guarantee me that there won't be any further
It's your
molestation with me?
government.
I'm ready
I
to
am
put
not in
this off.
government, but-
I'm ready to put this off if you guarantee me. You're a lawyer in Supreme Court, sir. Tell me that.
All right.
It is
Unfortunately,
not my government. It is your government.
Sir, it
Please
is
go
everybody's
ahead.
government. You are a part of this nation. It is everybody's
okay, no, wait. Unfortunately,
As far as
we've run completely out of time, but over the next 2 hours as well, this is an issue that we are going to stay with. Hopefully, we will be continuing this debate tomorrow as well. Still no answers to those 5 questions that we raised right at the beginning of the show. I have to thank both my guests for now. Thanks for watching.